what's up, everyone? It's Alex again with Shaka Lifestyle, and today I'm going to be going over something that has gotten a lot of attention on my TikTok profile. I put out a post recently that talked about doing voiceover work as a side hustle. So I've gotten a lot of comments about it. It's gotten over 1 million views. So I just wanted to go over this, explain some of the things that are required for it, because I wasn't able to accurately express everything that's required in the 60 seconds that I had to explain it. So throughout the course of this, I'm going to go over the mindset that you need to have, the equipment that you should have, and the training that you need in order to be successful with this. Now, I will say it requires a lot more than what I originally said in my TikTok post. So stick around through the entire thing. The entire thing is going to be super valuable if you're looking to get into becoming a voice actor. So we'll go ahead and get started. So this training is more for beginners, people who saw my TikTok post and were interested in getting into voice acting. So if you're experienced in this, this is all great information that you probably already know, but this is generally meant for people who are in the beginning stages who saw that post and are interested in getting started. And as I said, this is a great side hustle that you can get into. It requires time, it requires money, but if you're willing to invest both of those things, then you'll be successful at this. You just got to stay consistent and just keep working hard at it. So we'll get started. So, like I said, this requires investment, and it also requires a lot of hard work, but it's totally something that is 100% achievable if you are willing to put in the time and the money to be successful. All you have to do, really, aside from getting all the equipment and learning everything, is you just have to be consistent and motivated. If you're motivated, if this is something that you really want to do, then it's totally something that you can do. But like I said, there are investments required. And before I say anything else, don't look at them as expenses. So you may see some of these things and just say, oh my God, they're so expensive. I don't know if I can afford these things, so on and so forth. That's the wrong way to look at it. If you're looking to get into any business, it doesn't require what business it is. It could be voice acting. It could be what I do, affiliate marketing. It requires investment of your time and of your money. But if you look at them like investments, like you're using these things, these tools that I'm going to show you, you can be successful with them. If you look at them as investments, they will make you money in the end. There's no business anywhere in this world that has ever been created that requires zero investment. Every single business requires investing time and money. So those two things are non-negotiables. I got a lot of comments in that TikTok post from voice actors who essentially said, you're being misleading. This requires way more work than what you're leading on. And that's true, but I only had 60 seconds to really portray that. So like I said, if you invest in equipment and training, this is 100% possible and a great opportunities for those who want it bad enough. You have to want it bad enough if you're going to succeed in anything. Doesn't matter what it is. So we'll go over Fiverr.com. So Fiverr, for people who don't know, is a website that people who have certain skills can go onto Fiverr and market those skills and say, hey, I can do voice acting, I can do illustrations. There's a bevy of things that you can do on Fiverr. It's really a great tool. So, but that's where we're going to be talking about is Fiverr.com. Like I said, beginners usually start at lower rates, but the point of starting at a lower rate is to build your portfolio, which is the most important thing with an arts-related profession. You have to build your portfolio because that's essentially what your resume is. If you go into any job and you hand them your resume, you're essentially handing them your work portfolio. So if you hand them a sheet that has nothing on it, then you're generally going to get paid less than the person who has more experience. So if you want to do this, and this is something that you're passionate about and you want to get into, just understand in the very beginning, it's going to require working for lower rates so you can build up to that $1,000 for reading 5,000 words. And I should say, I made it seem like, you can make $1,000 reading 5,000 words. And I know I made it seem that way because I said that, but you have to work up to that. So, and it doesn't require, it's not just an hour. It requires a lot more than that. If you go through and read the comments, I had literally hundreds of people say that it's not just, reading 5,000 words in 40 minutes. It requires a lot of editing. There's a lot of interfacing with the publisher and all that. So you have to keep that in mind. It's not going to be just 40 minutes. It's going to be a little bit longer. And we'll go over some of the things that you're going to need to edit that and all that. So, all right, we'll go over to Fiverr.com and I'll show you how to set up your account. Sorry to break up the presentation for you, but I'm going to need something from you now. Go down, subscribe, leave a comment, let me know what you found most valuable so far. Hit the like, and then let's get back to the presentation. You can go in here, punch in voiceover, and you can see the potential. Like, there's huge potential for people who are voiceover artists. But if you want to set up your account, all you got to do is go to this icon on the top right. Move myself here. Become a seller. That's where you want to go. So click Become a Seller. Click Become a Seller again. And you're going to come up to this. I 100% recommend watching this video right here, because this is going to go over, this guy right here is going to go over everything that you need to put in your profile to, be a marketable candidate for what you're trying to do. So he goes over what to include in your profile, what to say, stuff like that. So you just click continue, and again, it gives you more of an outline here to go through. So if you do that, if you go through and make a professional looking profile, that's the most important part. Because again, I'll go back to the resume. If you give someone a resume that's just a crumpled up piece of paper with a bad picture and no experience, then no one's going to hire you. So you have to make this look as professional as possible. So yeah, that's essentially what you need to do in order to set up your Fiverr profile. So we'll go back to present. Again, building your profile or your portfolio is vital. I've kind of beat that horse into the ground, so we'll skip past this. One thing I will mention though is manage your expectations. A lot of people, and I know it's partially my fault for doing this, and I apologize for that, but you have to manage your expectations. At first, you're not going to get those super high paying gigs. It's something that you work towards when you have the experience. So another thing that a lot of people mentioned in my comments in that post was it requires a lot of training and a lot of experience in order to do this, and that's 100% true. So I looked up some of the best places to get that training. Udemy right here, they have a bunch of really highly rated trainings that you can go through that are reasonably inexpensive. I think most of the ones that I found were like $15 or something like that. And you have to remember that, especially with stuff like this, you get what you pay for. So it's not going to be, all encompassing. My recommendation would be, just like anything else, the more education, the more training you have, the better off you're going to be. So take as many trainings as possible. The great thing about Udemy is you can take a bunch of these trainings and still not spend a whole lot of money on training. So another great place, same concept as Udemy, is Skillshare. They have a bunch of great training. From what I was able to see, there's more people that are going to Skillshare to learn how to do this. So there's a couple of them that had thousands and thousands and thousands of reviews and people who've taken the training. So that's another great place right there, Skillshare. This one right here is for people who are super serious about this and want to, are willing to invest and good education. HB Studio. I don't remember what the HB is. It's Herbert something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but it's a professional voice acting studio in New York City. And they have a training that says right here, it's $160 to start. Again, it's an investment. The more you invest, the more you're going to make. That's a foundational principle for any business that you start. So yeah, this HB Studio is a professional training. So these are just kind of like people who've done it before and they want to, share their wisdom with other people. But the hbstudio.org here is professional training from a highly renowned voice acting studio in New York City. So if I were to recommend any of them, I always recommend the professional training because this is like a legit studio that teaches people how to do voice acting. So 100% I recommend HB Studio. And the last thing here, take as many as possible, as many as you can possibly afford. I would set yourself a budget of, whatever you can afford. I would say if I want to start soon and be successful at it, I would set a budget for like $160 as the HB Studio training is. Or if you want to go to Udemy and spend $160 on training on Udemy, you can probably get a lot of training. I don't know if it'll be as high quality as HB Studio would. So this is another thing. I got so many comments in that TikTok post, but this is another one that a lot of people commented on. You can't just I guess you could, but good luck getting picked up for jobs. You could record into your phone with no voice or no soundproofing with a non-professional microphone. But like I said, you're probably not going to get picked up for a bunch of jobs. So the equipment needed, from what I've found, just simple Google search, is a large diaphragm condenser microphone is what you're going to need generally. I should note that all these things, all the equipment needed, I'm going to post links for the things that I found with the highest ratings on Amazon. So that's probably, unless you have a bunch of money to invest, Amazon's probably going to be your best place to start to accrue all these things for less money. And as you go along, it's always best to upgrade your equipment. So and that's with anything, that's with any business, doesn't matter what it is. Upgrading your equipment as soon as you can afford it is another investment that you make in your company. So as it says here, it starts from $99 and up. You're going to need a mic stand, which those were 30 some odd bucks, I think, the ones that I found, and a pop filter to filter the harsh P and S sounds. That's another thing that I found online that there's, some people have issues with is, the harsh sounds that it's kind of hard to edit. So for soundproofing, it can be done for super cheap. I watched a YouTube video on it. I'll link that below as well. It doesn't require a whole lot. It's just kind of, foaming up a room or like a closet or something like that. And that's generally all that is. Headphones, again, the more you spend, the better quality they're going to be. It's you get what you pay for with anything. Doesn't matter if it's training or equipment, doesn't matter. They range from $99 and up. I'll link the $99 one in the description. This is, I think, from what I was able to see, the most important part. So you can have the best microphone, the best pop filter, the best everything, but as long as if you have a substandard voice editing software, then it's never going to sound good. So the best ones that I found for free, at least, this one's probably the most accessible for everybody, is GarageBand. Like you have it on your phone, you have it on your, if you have a Mac, you can pick it up on your Mac and you can just record straight into that. And it has I wouldn't say a really good, it has, for what it is, it's free. It has a good voice mixing capability. But if you're looking to pay or make an investment, as I said, the best one that I found was Adobe Audition. That one's the most expensive, but it's for professionals. So if you want the fast track to getting the best jobs, you got to have the best equipment. Best equipment included with the voice recording software is Adobe Audition. Adobe makes the best everything. They make, the best video editing software, everything. They make the best. Another good one is Audacity. From what I looked up a bunch of the best voice editing software, and from what I was able to see, they had the best functionality for any of the other ones, aside from obviously Adobe Audition. For people who have MacBooks or iMacs, or if you want to do it on your phone, that's entirely possible. You just have to understand it's not going to be the best. Logic Pro X, I should have wrote that there. It's just an Apple application. That one's reasonably expensive as well, but the more you pay, the better the quality. So and I'm gonna open up the comments below, and if you have a comment, and if you have better equipment than what I'm putting on here, or if better training or anything like that, please just obviously keep it constructive, but definitely put the comments down below and let me know what the best of everything is, so you can help people who are trying to get into this. So this is the most important part. I think the widest comment that I got, or the most frequently commented comment that I got in my comments in that TikTok post, were it's not that easy. It's, this is for professionals, so on and so forth, which I think that's kind of a cop-out. And I think it's people who have invested a lot of time into this, and they don't really want people who are new to kind of infringe on their market. But it's like anything. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's voice acting, if it's marketing, if it's, just generally starting your own online business, mindset is the most important part. Don't listen to the people who tell you, oh, you can't do this because of X. That is, excuse my French, that's bullshit. You can do anything that you want to do as long as you devote the time and the money and the mindset required to be successful. And like I said, that's not just with voice acting, that's with everything. So as it says here, you can do this with the proper training and equipment. You can do this. There's no glass ceiling above which you can't proceed. You can be the top. Like, you just got to think, like the people that you see on Fiverr who are making $1,000 doing these 5,000 word voiceovers, they started from the bottom. They started from nowhere. So you can too. People telling you, no, you can't do this because of X, they're lying to you. So, and again, the more investment, the more you're going to earn. I can't stress this enough. Someone asked me the other day, what's the biggest barrier for people who try and start a business? And it's the people who don't understand that businesses require investment. Businesses are like a body, like a human body. They require blood. And the blood for any business is investment. You have to keep putting money into your business, or else you're going to stagnate and you're probably going to die in the business sense. So you have to keep pumping money in, keep pumping money in, keep pumping money in, regardless of whether or not it takes money away from you, because you want your business to grow. And that's what this is. Voice acting is 100% of business. You are a contracted employee for whatever company ends up picking you up in the end. So any side hustle or self-employment career requires hard work and dedication. These three right here are the keys to being successful. You have to be consistent. You have to do these as often as you can. It doesn't matter how little money you make. It does not matter. Just do it. Because the people, like I said, that make $1,000 doing this, they were consistent. They took those crappy jobs. They, listened to their editors. They listened to the companies who picked them up and asked them to do these changes. So yeah, be consistent, be confident. That's another thing with voice acting. Like, you can't sound super timid whenever you're talking, because you have to speak as if, the script that you're reading is something that you believe. That all comes down to confidence. You got to be confident with what you're saying, and not just what you say and how you say it, you got to be confident in yourself that you belong where you are. And then be persistent. Like, just keep going. Just keep going. I don't care how long it takes you, how much money you have going out and how little you have coming in. If you stay persistent and you just refuse to accept failure, you will be successful. That's all that success requires is persistence. So, just to recap, I know I've really beat this horse into the ground. Any business requires investment. You have to invest money. You have to invest time. It is essential. If you find a business that requires zero investment, please let me know and I will start that immediately. Just like I said in the very beginning, don't think of this as an expense. Don't think of the investments as an expense, because as soon as you start thinking that way, you're going to start losing money because you need to invest, you need to upgrade, and you need to get better training, all that. If you want to work for yourself, you need to invest in yourself. You are the greatest tool that you have. It doesn't matter what equipment you have. It doesn't matter what voice editing software you have. It doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters aside from your persistence. If you believe in yourself, you can do anything. I know that sounds super cliched, but that's something that I've found recently that's been vital to the success that I've had in the market that I'm in. You have to be confident. You have to be persistent and consistent, like I said in that previous slide. So that's the end of that. So thanks for sitting through that. I know that I really beat that whole investment thing into the ground, but that's one thing that I wish I would have explained further in that TikTok post. Investment's vital. You got to invest in yourself and equipment and everything. But I hope that addresses a lot of concerns that a lot of people had regarding my stance on this voiceover thing, this voice acting. If it doesn't, if there's some things I left unsaid, please add them in the comments. Like I said, be constructive. There's no need to be, hostile or anything like that. I'm just out here trying to show people that there is a way for them to make money online. And this is 100% possible for those people who are interested in it and are willing to put in the effort. So with that, thanks for tuning in, and be sure to stay tuned for the next one. Thanks.